Hello everybody and welcome to JuniperGraceTube number 12. Yay! I brought the ukulele back to sing you a song and I'm going to attempt Cosmic Love by Florence and the Machine. A falling star fell from your heart and landed in my eyes. I screamed aloud as it tore through them, and now it's left me blind. The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark. No dawn, no day, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart. And in the dark, I can hear your heartbeat. I tried to find the sound, but then it stopped, and I was in the darkness. So darkness I became. The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You've left me in the dark. No dawn, no day, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart. Ooh, 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 I took the stars from our eyes and made a map, and I knew that somehow I could find my way back. Then I heard your heart beating, you were in the darkness too, so I stayed in this darkness with you. The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark. No dawn, no day, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart. The stars, the moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark. No dawn, no day, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadow of your heart. Okay, that might have been a little bit crazy, but I'm cool with that. Whatever. Oh, ukulele. My best friend. Well, welcome here. If you are new, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. I love you, little junipers. I am your host, Juniper Grace, otherwise known as Grace, otherwise known as on Instagram, you can find me as Juniper Grace. On Ravelry, you can find me as Juniper Grace. You can find the group for this podcast as JuniperGraceTube on Ravelry. And Instagram, Twitter. Twitter is GeeRaceface. G-E-E Raceface. I know I had it before everything else. Well, it is a beautiful day here again in May. That rhymed a little bit. I don't know where May is going. This is almost like, what the heck? I don't know. But exciting things have been happening around here. I've been busy getting things kind of settled for Juniper Grace. Not too much activity has happened on the blog yet, but it will. There are plans. Oh, I always forget. Classic. Do you have your nice little beverage? Today, my cup of water is brought to you by Sarah's mug from England. Yay! I would shake the mug, but then I'd spill the water. I did swap with Sarah Hepworth from England, and I sent her a Canada mug, and she sent me an England mug, and look who's on it. Shakespeare. Doesn't that just make you feel so poetic when you're drinking your coffee? Or your water in this case. So you want to grab your nice delicious beverage. You want to grab some knitting. And we'll get started. Even though we already did. You guys probably used this by now. Oh, that's really good water. So like I said, things around here have been a little bit busy, but absolutely wonderful. Like busy in all of the right kind of ways. I have been getting lots of sleep and eating healthier foods because I'm not at work and trying to go grab a quick lunch or whatever because I was too lazy to pack it and whatever. It's amazing how wonderful it is to eat vegetables. Fresh vegetables. I know, guys. You all know this, don't you? But it's just so good. I love it. I probably could be vegetarian, except I really like meat as well. I'm sorry for those of you that are vegetarians. I'm from Alberta. Alberta's the prairies. Yeah, anyways. And I'm wearing a very festive fake tattoo today. Boop. Oh, let's try to find a way to... There you go. Oh, there's little lines. Those are lines from my ukulele. Because if you hold the ukulele tight, you kind of get lines on your arm. And this is my birthmark I was born with. But then there's a watermelon. Isn't that just perfect? Kind of makes me want to eat watermelon. I remember when I worked at summer camp, we used to get... In the summertime, sometimes we would go out and buy a watermelon and we'd just literally hack the thing in half. And one of my friends would have one half and I'd have the other half, and we'd take spoons and have seed spitting competitions, but we'd just try to eat like half a watermelon. Of course, we never could because they were way too big. So we'd pass it on and share it with other people, but yeah, watermelon. Oh, my arm doesn't bend that way. You guys can't see it the way that I see it. Oh, there we go. I love it. It's so much fun. I think I was talking last time that I had this really strong urge to get fake tattoos. And so the next day I went to one of my favorite little boutiques. It's called Smoking Lily here in Victoria. It's on Lower Johnson Street, so they call it Lojo. And it's this tiny, tiny little itty-bitty shop that there's enough room for you and maybe one other person and then the person that works there, but they always hire really tiny people to work there because it's such a small, it's like a closet, like it's tiny, but they have adorable, really awesome handmade things, and now they're carrying Tatly tattoos. So I got a whole little collection because, well, Tatly's awesome. Let me hold it up. So it's Tatly.com. It's from, I think it's based in New York, and they are just amazing fake tattoos. So if you are following me on Instagram, you have already seen the "Okay, let's do this" tattoo on my arm. It lasted about a week. I don't know how long the watermelon might last. It might last longer because it's smaller and it's not like, or, you know, it's kind of more in one little location. This one, the side of the letters started to wear off pretty quickly. But I really like it. I almost want to like actually tattoo it on my arm. I also found one that says "love." And my best friend's already broken into that package and put that one on her. There's the watermelon. And they're so freaking adorable. I think on the website it's like $5 for two, plus whatever shipping and handling. But you can also get like packages of them where it's like 8 for $15, which is a pretty good deal, I think. Because 4 times 5 is 20. Yeah, 8 for 15. So it's like $5 off. It's a good, really great deal. And they're really fun. And then I also got a bicycle tattoo. But honestly, Tatly is so much fun. And I really love their branding and the way that they advertise. They just, you can tell working there is just a heck of a lot of fun. Like covering things in tattoo. I think tattoos, fake tattoos. For Easter, like they've got an Instagram account. And I believe it's just Tatly on Instagram. But they show for Easter, they put fake tattoos on the eggs, like the boiled eggs. When they're doing advertising or whatever spots for new tattoos, they'll just cover people in tattoos. And it's so much fun. I would work there if I could work there. And Tatly, if you're watching, I love you. Yeah, you guys should go check it out because it's really, really fun. And they're temporary, but there's some serious art too. Like there's not just kind of goofy ones. There's also like actual ones that are like black and white, beautiful ships and flowers, and different artists have kind of joined in with Tatly and they do different tattoos, and I don't know, just so much fun. It's summer, right? We're showing off a little more skin, might as well cover it in fake tattoos. Yeah, I don't know if you agree with that, but that's okay. At least it's fake. Well, I mean, I do want to get a real one, but that's another story. I am a total wimp and a wuss when it comes to actual tattoos. So moving right along, this week we had lots of mail love, M-A-I-L, love. One in particular was from Sarah from England. She sent me the mug that you've already seen, and she also sent me George, the traveling gnome. If you look at some of the he's been shared in the projects for JuniperGraceTube on Ravelry. And oh my gosh, I'm dying. He's so freaking cute. I think that he's gonna have to come on adventures. He'll probably come to Maine with me. And I have a feeling that he needs a hashtag. And so I'm thinking hashtag adventures with George. Isn't he so cute? Like he's got this little English flag, his Union Jack. Oh my gosh. And his beard, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna close up. Hopefully it's not too fuzzy. It's like curls. It's actually like a beard. I don't know how she did it, but it's amazing. I love it, and it feels like real beard kind of, but not quite as scratchy. I love it. Thank you so much, Sarah. She also, oh my gosh, oh I didn't bring the tea because I've already cracked into it. She sent me cozy tea, which the box looks like it's kind of like a sweater. Oh right, I'll go get it. I'll be right back. Okay. I haven't, sorry guys. I haven't cracked into this one yet. It's the blueberry. I'm trying to angle it so it's not too reflecty. I think it's just going to be reflecty. Can you see the definition of the stitches? It looks like, almost looks like crochet on this one, but I don't know. Or moss stitch, seed stitch. Yeah, there's no way to do no reflection. But blueberry tea, and it's cozy, and it's awesome. I'm so excited for this. And then on top of that, okay, so we decided to do a mug swap. Just a Starbucks mug swap. So I bought her a Starbucks mug, and I packed like the little box the mug came in. I packed that with stuff, kind of. Like little, like, I think I sent her a juniper bow. Sarah, if you haven't got this, oops. Oh well, too late. I sent her a juniper bow, and I sent her some earrings I think that I've made. And a wish bracelet, one of my little, I don't know if you can, next to my, I do little tiny wish bracelets, the kind that you know, it's a little pearl, I call it a pearl of wisdom, and you tie it on and you wear it until you make a wish and you wear it till it falls off and the wish comes true. I don't know, something like that. She also sent me Rainbow Felici. Ah! And I only had one ball of this, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to get any more. And wow, just, I feel really spoiled. I love pen pals. It's so much fun. Speaking of pen pals, okay, so moving on, even to like not knitting stuff. We'll get to knitting eventually. You guys know we always end up getting to knitting. But I want to tell you about my life too. So remember how I was talking about the Letter Writers Alliance, how I'm a part of that? 16sparrows.com. Check it out. It's really //LWA, Letter Writers Alliance. So I was saying to you last week that I ordered a membership for my best friend because I already have a membership. The idea is that you join this Letter Writers Alliance, and then you have to write in a letter to request a pen pal, and you can get tons of pen pals from all over the world, right? I love it. I have a wonderful pen pal, Verinda, from England, who's actually getting married really soon, which is exciting, so I need to send some mail. But it's so much fun. And so I went online because I promised my best friend that I would buy her a membership to the Letter Writers Alliance because she loves writing letters. And if you were in the Easter swap, you would have seen how crazy much she loves writing letters. Like, she hand drew every one of those envelopes for her letters, just in case you guys were wondering. She was up till like 6 in the morning drawing letters. So I ordered her a membership, and I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like because trust me, it is so worth it. I think it's like $5 US. You order online, but then everything comes in the mail, and then from then on, if you want a pen pal, you have to send in mail. So you order the membership, and you get, pardon me while I reach. I took it out of the plastic so it wouldn't be crazy, but okay, so it says you have to send a letter to get a letter, and that's really how it goes. You write a letter to request a pen pal, and you answer a couple questions about yourself. Then they send you a letter back that tells you your pen pal's address, and then it says you have to send a letter to get a letter back. So this is the intro, the welcome card. It just says, welcome you as the newest member of the Letter Writers Alliance. We are most honored that you have chosen to join us in our humble goal of resurrecting the art and elegance of letter writing. So then, attached to it, you get your membership card and a crest, like an actual badge that you can sew somewhere. I am all about badges. Sorry, I don't want you guys to see her number. Okay, there you go. That's her membership now, and I covered up the membership number, but that's her membership card. And then she gets, and it's all kind of taped on, but she gets her crest, and it's so much fun. And I have one, but mine's a little more old school. Like, it wasn't quite as, mine was a typewritten letter, no postcard. So since I joined a little while ago, and I have, like, all this new stuff has come out, they have crests. So this is the, turning it around. So this is the one that you get when you join. So I got a pin. I didn't get a crest. So I ordered myself a crest, and then they have another crest that you can order, and these are all going to go on my camp blanket because I really like crests because I'm a brownie leader. But how much fun is that? Do you love that? The crossed quills. Love it. Okay, so then I also ordered myself some official Letter Writers Alliance stationery that comes with envelopes because I wanted some because I was buying her a present. I want to buy myself a present. Do you ever do that where you buy your friend a present and then you buy yourself a present? I think it started when I was little, but I think it's because I was a spoiled, rotten little brat, and my mom would go to buy a present for somebody for their birthday, and I would be upset and sad that I didn't get a present. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how I got my first Wrinkles dog. You remember those Wrinkles dogs where their heads were puppets and I don't know. If you don't, I'll put a picture in the show notes of Wrinkles. But I'm pretty sure that we bought one for somebody for their birthday, and I was like, I want a Wrinkles too! And my mom was so sweet and loving and kind to this spoiled, rotten little brat of me that she bought me one too. But I think it's just kind of always how it went. Sometimes, or like, it's not always like I would get the same present, but it's like you buy a present for somebody and sometimes you get yourself something too. Maybe I'm crazy. Is that bad? Am I really spoiled? Hope not. But I was buying Jess presents, but I think really it's because I had to pay for shipping, and so I figured if I was going to be paying for shipping, I might as well, like, for her membership, I might as well throw in some stuff for me. So I also bought these golden seals. Oh my gosh, everything with the reflectiness. It's too bright. Okay, anyways, you can see it's embossed with the crossed quills Letter Writers Alliance. And then, what I was talking about last week, I got these, they're straight out of like 1952 or something. I'm sure my mom or my grandma had stuff like this. But there's my correspondence record, Letter Writers Alliance correspondence records. And then it has where you can keep track of everything that comes in and goes out. Isn't that fun? And then with that, I mean, I had to get the matching address book because, well, let's face it, how much fun is that? And I have problems with organization, so to have a specific place where I put things, I think is a really smart thing. Yeah. Have you ever felt like that? So I think if I manage to, I'm really excited. Fill this out and yeah. Hopefully this will help me stay organized a little bit better. But isn't that fun? You guys should totally, like I said, 16 sparrow, like the number 16, 16sparrows.com/LWA, and you will be amazed. I've also signed up like a long time ago, which I have to finish, is they're called initiative responses, where there's like challenges that you do regarding, like, for example, one is all about typewriters. There's a typewriter challenge where you learn about typewriters, you use a typewriter, you learn where to get one serviced and fixed in your neighborhood, and then you can get a badge for doing that, which I am working towards because so much fun. Hello, fridge. If you are a first-time viewer, my fridge really loves to make big, like, gunk, 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 gunk. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my newest Letter Writers Alliance fun stuff, and I just wanted to show you. They also do pigeon post, where you can buy this plastic pigeon and mail it to people. Super, super fun. Oh, and I forgot to mention, okay, so speaking of my love of mail, M-A-I-L, you will see that I have my postcard wall. Now, let me move my finger. This one right here by my wiggly finger is the postcard that came from Sarah from England. It is so beautiful. I love it. And if you would like to send a postcard to add to the wall, because the wall is not gigantic, there's so much more room. We could have that sucker plastered if we wanted to. It's another project that we have going on here at Juniper Grace, where we just want to see where you all come from, and let's get stuff from all of the junipers around the world and stick it up on the wall. So far we have Australia and where else? Denmark, England, throughout the States. You can see Elvis right up there, comes from Memphis. There we go. Oh my gosh, my brain is not working. I had a cup of coffee this morning, I swear. Okay. Oh, maybe I'm dehydrated. Okay, so anyways, that's some exciting stuff. Now let's move on to some other exciting things. So you all know that I currently have my very first ever knit along happening here at JuniperGraceTube. It is the HANA HOU by Melissa by M Ski Knits, Single-Handed Knits podcast / Empire. She has Camp Aloha Friends, which is coming up, which I'm super duper excited for. I'm going to be one of the bunkhouse leaders, as well as instructing a couple different things. I'm going to teach crochet, granny squares, and embroidery. And I might even teach a few ukulele chords. I don't know. We'll find out. But you want to be a part of it, so it's really, really fun. You want to make sure that you go over to singlehandedknits.com and check that out and see if you can register. I think it's still open. It starts June 15th, so we're getting there. We're getting really close to Camp Aloha Friends. I'm so excited. But back to my knit along. So my knit along is for the HANA HOU cardigan, and it is one that I got to test knit / sample knit for Mel in not my size, and I didn't keep it because I sent it to her as a sample. But the prize at the end of that rainbow was that I would get to knit one for myself out of Space Cadet Creations yarn. Yay! Space Cadet Creation. Okay, so first of all, let me show you this said Space Cadet Creation. Oh, George, don't fall over. No, stay up. It's feeling a little wobbly. Oh no. Ah, there we go. Got him. Okay, so it is knit, the cardigan is knit in sport weight yarn. So the sport weight that I'm using is the Lyra from Space Cadet Creations. Stephanie is so freaking sweet. And look at that little tiny Space Cadet. I have a fake tattoo of that guy still, and I'm gonna definitely wear it. Okay, then there's this. This is the Lyra, which is their sport weight, or I think one of their sport weights. It is, let me read the information. So, it is tight twist cable plied sport weight yarn, 100% superwash merino wool. The colorway is How Dare You, and it's this deep kind of orangey reddish. I freaking love it. And yeah, so each one is 100 grams, so 270 yards per 100 grams. And so I'm just knitting size medium for Mel's sweater, and it takes 7 skeins. So I have gone ahead and caked up because I've been waiting. The knit along started May 1st, and there was a bit of a snafu on the ordering of the yarn, kind of just miscommunication. But Stephanie was so amazing, and how she solved the problem. Like, this got to me right away as soon as we realized what had happened. I got kind of bumped into the queue of the custom dyed orders. Instead of getting it right away. So I am currently swatching. Well, I finished a little tiny swatch that I need to block as soon as I'm done recording. This is my little hand wound cake. I like to do them by hand. Emski Knits, Mel asked on Instagram, what's your favorite way to do it? Do you like to use a ball winder or a hand winder? And wind by hand. And I have always, it's really weird. All the girls at Knit Night actually make fun of me for how I love to sit there and wind people's wool. So if they bring a new skein and they're like, I just want to start knitting with it, I'm like, well, pass it over to me. And they're like, are you serious? Do you seriously want to spend all that time? Sometimes I'll just spend Knit Night winding other people's yarn. But it's so much fun. And I feel like part of the process, because you know what, maybe I'm just really a process knitter rather than a product knitter. As in, I really like the process, and that's what I'm kind of on it for, the journey, not necessarily the end result. Because you really get to know the yarn, you get a feel for it while you're winding it up, and then it's like just really amping up to make the project. And so that's my little handmade. Someone asked me how I do it, so I think I might do a video tutorial sometime, but it's really easy once you get started, and then, yeah, it's really fun. So isn't that beautiful? And what I'm doing is I'm knitting it on, so far this is the first swatch, and it's knit on size 5 US needles, and I'm using my Knit Picks interchangeable, and they're Harmony, so they're the rainbowy wood ones. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see if that works. If that's not the right size, I might switch. I might go to metal, but I actually really like the combination of the wooden needles with this yarn. Sometimes wooden tips I don't find, or like wooden knitting needles, have their place. I like wooden knitting needles for if you're doing double pointed socks, just because usually if I'm basically double pointed needles, I prefer to be wooden or bamboo or whatever they are. Just because they hold things on the needle a little bit better, they're less likely to slip out. But sometimes when I'm doing a sweater, I prefer metal tips. I find that those go a little bit faster. But so far, I've really, really enjoyed these ones. So US size 5, I've knit myself. I kind of did a little bit similar to what Mel had me do when I was test knitting, where I've done a bit of I started with a base of, I believe, 30 stitches, even though the gauge swatch is for 20. I did 30. I went a couple inches just straight, and then I started to decrease just up one side. And then what I will do in a little while is I will pick up down the curve and practice the cuff of like the copycat pattern that is on the cuff of the sweater, as well, like the cuffs of the sleeves and the edging, or I don't know. Just making up words here. But I'll pick that up and practice the copycat. I call it kind of a basket weave, but that's not what Mel calls it. So it's copycat. And I'll just pick it up and go down the sides and test that out just to see. Ever since I met her, I have never really completely embraced the idea of gauge swatching, but she's winning me over. Plus, if you ever watch her podcast, you'll see some of the swatches she comes up with, or taking a swatch like you mean it class. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. It's because that is like the essence of being a process knitter, like enjoying the journey really working with the yarn, figuring out what it can do for you before you jump in and start something as big as a sweater, only to find that you have really disappointing results in the end, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the biggest thing on the docket. And with that, we actually have some prizes for that knit along. So you guys all know I'm totally obsessed with Girl Cave bags on Etsy, girlcavebags.etsy.com. I ordered another one. I have a problem. Rista1313, Susan, she is the owner / genius behind the Girl Cave bags. Look at this one. It's Holly Hobby. She has these ridiculously adorable little buttons that have her, oh gosh, sorry, wobbles, that have her Etsy address on them, girlcavebags.etsy.com. This one has like little flowers inside. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I kind of caved and I ordered this, but she has greatly caved. Get it? I really like them because I am a girl cave. That's my last name. Cave. Grace Cave. I'm a girl cave. These bags are perfect for me. She has given us like aloha owls basically to give away for the HANA HOU knit along. Now, if this is the first time you've heard of it and you've already got HANA HOU queued, or you've already started it, or you've been thinking about it, it's not too late to join in at all. Like, go ahead, just jump in, show us some pictures, kind of start chatting. There's at least 2 threads right now. There's not an official just finished pictures thread because I hope nobody's finished yet. Oh well, if they are, I mean, congratulations, you're awesome. It's going from, it started May 1st, and I just got my yarn, so no judgment, you can jump in. And it's going until July 1st. So we have all of the month of June still to knit this sweater. And what I love, I want to show you the inside of this bag. It's got these fun little chevrons and a little gift in there. What I love about Susan's finishing is, first of all, the bags are made out of adorable, like really nice light quilter's cotton. But I think there's interfacing, or there's something to make it sturdy. So they're really sturdy, but they're really easy to get in and out of. Like, there's no, it's not like playing origami to try to get your stuff in and out of the bag. There's this nice little like butt gusset foot thing. That did not sound very nice, I'm sorry. There's like this nice little wedge thingy that gives it stability when you have a project inside. So, and then these little hooky guys, like, or well, little like loopy handles. So it's a really nice thing, and I love, and this is one of my favorite little details. I know it seems so silly, but part of her finishing, I'll hold it right up. Can you see the pinked edges? See how there's pinking shears? Or I think she uses a rotary, a pinking rotary cutter. How it makes those little zigzags. She leaves them kind of loose there, but not loose. I mean, it doesn't look raggedy or frayed or anything at all. I just think it's a nice, fun little detail that sets the bags apart. So you guys are lucky. I really want to keep this, but you get to have it. And Stephanie from Space Cadet Creations has offered to give us 1 bundle of mini skeins, which I'm so excited for. Actually, she's totally won me over with her yarn. I'm going to join the little club of mini skeins. I think at least once. You can do like, just order 1 bundle of mini skeins, but it's a surprise. You pick ombre or multicolored, I think, and then you just get something awesome in the mail. Which I'm really excited for because there's so many things you can do with those mini skeins. Okay, so I showed you my HANA HOU, which is going to take up a lot of my knitting time. That is going to get priority just because, well, it's my knit along that I'm hosting, so I better dang well knit that sweater. And then other than that, there's another knit along that I joined in on, thanks to the amazing Julie, Inky 777, nope. 077. I was going to say 007. 077. Where did that name come from, Julie? You had to tell me. She, when I was having a bad time, and right when I left the bank, she gifted me the pattern, the Hogwarts Express shawl. And, oh, I can't remember who it's by. Elizabeth. Something. I'll link it in the show notes. Why do I always do this? Anyways, this is how far I've gotten. I'm knitting with Plucky Knitter, Plucky Feet, in the Reminisce color. Oh no, Primo Fingering, not Plucky Feet. Primo Fingering, which is 75-25 of merino, cashmere, and nylon. It's so soft. And it's the Reminisce color, Plucky Knitter. Kind of battered the ball band. And it's this gorgeous, just beautiful kind of purpley mauve color. And then I have, if you don't know the pattern is that it's kind of a circular shawlette that's going to actually be this way. And it's going to have owls at the bottom, all along the bottom, and then the owls, you give them eyes with beads. And so I got kind of these beautiful like brownie bead things from Michael's. Yeah, so I feel like I've gotten some progress. I was knitting on this while I was waiting for my HANA HOU yarn to show up. And I love it. It's been a really fast knit up. It's just kind of garter stitch for now, and then I'll launch into the owls. I believe the owls are cabled or mock cabled. But I'm going to enter this in the knit along with Mary, Woolly Bear 368, her Ravelry group, her podcast group for Knitting Dish. It has a knit along for a shawlette knit along. So I'm cranking away on that because I want to enter that in. Although I believe that one ends at the end of May, so I need to get my tuchus in gear to finish so that I can enter. But she's got some good prizes too. In my little Holly hobby bag. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, so materialistic, Grace. I shouldn't love things so much. Oops. And other than that, let me think. Oh, I have more knitting to show you. Do you want to see more knitting? What if we just take a little divergent thing, let's diverge from knitting and come right back. Okay, so I've been, now that I've been working on my own and I haven't been, 9 to 5 and going to the bank, I've had time to do things during the day. And it's been really fun. I've been kind of discovering my city and discovering what it has for me, and like not just for me. It's not like the whole city rolls around me in life, but I hung out with my best friend and I got a manicure the other day. Isn't that pretty? It's OPI, one of their new Brazil colors, I think. I got a manicure. What else? And I found a new place that is like the best. It's most affordable, and the girls are so nice that work there. They don't make me feel like really bad for being terrible at taking care of, like, I got a pedicure as well. I'm really awful at taking care of my feet, and they didn't make me feel too embarrassed. Like, I always apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm really horrible. Same with when I get a haircut. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm really terrible at taking care of my hair. Like, you can see my crazy kind of lion's mane. And then same with my nails. I'm not the greatest at taking care of them. So this place, it's good when you find a place where you don't feel embarrassed and you kind of feel like you can trust them and that they're gonna do a really good job for a really great price. So I went and found that. I've also found, I fell in love with the library again. So I went there today because I had ordered, it's like a slippery slope. I really love books, and it's good that I can just borrow them from the library. That way I don't, have to own them and figure out what to do with them. Like, I don't need, like, I have a huge bookcase that's full of books. I don't need more at this point unless I'm going to, like, reference back to those books or read them again. So that's where you turn to the library. And our library has a really awesome online, like a whole web resource. You can access everything, you can find everything, and you can put a ton of holds on things and have them delivered to your local library. My local library is a 10-minute walk away or like a 2-minute drive. It is so awesome, and it's really nice. And so I went in today because I placed a hold on some things. Recently, Steve Martin was in town doing a show. I missed him. I didn't get to go. I mean, half the time when those kind of shows come around, they're sold out in like 10 seconds. Doesn't that, like, do you ever have that where you try to get tickets to something because there's only like one of that thing and everybody wants to be a part of it, and so you go and you wait online and you go to like buy your ticket and it's sold out in like 30 seconds or something like that. And so no luck, you can't get tickets. Like, that happens all the time here in Victoria because there's way too many people and not enough events or not enough like capacity at these events. Sorry, that's my little mini rant. Anyway, so I didn't get to go see Steve Martin. That's fine. That's okay. One of the local radio hosts really loves Steve Martin. In fact, I believe his son is named Martin after Steve Martin, something like that. He did this big video where he's like, Steve, if you come to our city, can I get an interview with you? And so he had to go to where the performance was going to be to do this interview with Steve Martin. So I listened to the radio interview, and it kind of reminded me how much I actually really love Steve Martin. And I was like, I really want to watch some of his movies right now. And there's like not enough of these movies. Like none of the good ones, none of the big fun ones are on Netflix Canada right now. Just a little bit disappointing. And I had it in my mind because I've been kind of into bird watching, and I got my Sibley's Guide to Birds and everything, and I really wanted to watch The Big Year. And it's not on Netflix anymore. It was. So I couldn't, and we don't, I think Canadian Netflix is way different than American Netflix. I think it's really behind compared to what you guys get in the States. And there's none of this ordering the actual DVD on, like, I don't know. We don't get to do that. Like, that doesn't happen in Canada. So you're kind of subject to whatever they have available to stream. And there's lots of really great shows, like Being Erica is one of my favorite, and I think that's Canadian. What else? I'm recently watching Veronica Mars, which I missed when it was out on TV because I was going to school and living in dorms and didn't have TV. And so it feels like traveling back to when I was living in dorms because everything they're wearing and everything they're saying is like those years. When I was living life and not watching TV. But yeah, okay, so super long story short, I found The Big Year my library has it. So it has, okay, Jack Black, Steve Martin, and Owen Wilson are these bird watchers. And I guess there's like, the idea of a big year is when you try to actually see like just hundreds of birds in 1 year. And you tick off, and I don't know, it's like a competition in, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but all I know is that you guys really want to see this because it is amazing. So I got it from the library. Yay! Because, I mean, I know I could have just probably found a place to stream it online illegally, or I know there's one movie rental place left in the city that I know of for sure. So I could have probably gone and rented it there and paid money and whatever, but I just was like, when I found it on the library website, I was like, heck yes, I can wait for that to come. So I'm going to watch The Big Year and work on my HANA HOU, and then when I'm waiting for things to block and I have to check the gauge, wait for it to block and everything, I have my socks for May. I've decided to bring back my Hermione's Everyday Sock. So, this is how far I am on sock number 1. So I'm attempting to do a shawlette and my socks and my HANA HOU. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But so these are my Hermione Everyday Socks. They're knit. I recast them on. I had some knit before. I was using size 0 double-pointed needles, and it was taking a million years. Like, I think I had 72 stitches that I was doing. And when you're working on a textured pattern, and I don't know, it just wasn't what I wanted. It just wasn't working out. It was going to take a million years to finish these socks. And I decided that these have to be my this month's sock. This is the first yarn. It's knit in Quince & Company Finch, which is the fingering, 100% American wool. It's the Quince & Company Finch in the lichen colorway. And it is so squishy and so, oh my gosh, I love Quince & Company. That's the first yarn that I bought when I went on my Maine trip. I guess this is my mini Maine moment. I went, when I got there, I flew in and I had to fly overnight because that was the only way with my time off and flight schedules, how it worked. It was going to basically take me 12 hours to get to Maine. So either I was going to get there really early in the morning and then just have to keep myself entertained until I could get picked up and taken to the actual retreat. Or I would show up late and someone would have to like leave the retreat, come get me, and I would, miss the beginning of the retreat. Seriously, like it was going to be like 11 in the morning that I would arrive in Portland, Maine, or 11 at night. Those were my two options. And I just thought, okay, that's silly. I'll go for 11 in the morning, even if I have to do a red eye overnight, which I did. It was kind of fun because I had the whole day to myself in Portland. And kind of our meeting ground was Knitwit Yarn Shop. And so I had my big suitcase and I was wearing my moccasins and my favorite red gingham dress, And I think you guys, if you've seen like my first episode, or which I can't remember which, but telling the story about when I arrived in Portland, and I was so thrilled. Even though I had this gigantic suitcase, I was rolling this huge suitcase down the cobbled streets of Portland, Maine with a grin on my face and taking a million pictures of everything I could do. I traipsed around the whole city. It was so much fun. Well, the whole like downtown part, and then walked up and over to the knitwit shop, and the very first thing that I purchased was this yarn. So that's my first main purchase, and I kind of want to. I promised myself that I would try to actually knit all the yarn that I bought in Maine before I go back in September. So I have a lot to do because I have barely touched any of the Maine yarn. And it's in my this little bag. It's just like from the dollar bins at Target. They had all of these. Yeah, I really like it. And I'm knitting on 9-inch circulars. So they're teeny, teeny, tiny. I'm just trying different things while I do my year of sock knitting. Again, if you are new, I am attempting to knit 1 pair of socks each month. I had a blip over March and April because they're really stressful months with kind of the bank, and ended up leaving the bank, and but now I'm back on track. So I'm trying to catch up. I just finished my March socks, which were my Hedwig socks, and now I've got my Hermione's everyday socks, which I originally started in April, I believe. And I'm using, I think these are Haya needles, and they're 9-inch circulars. And I've got 2 stitch markers. I've got one for the start of the round, and I've got one for the halfway point, just for when I go to do my heel, I don't have to count. I can just go between the 2 markers. And yeah, so far I'm really, really liking it. I love the color, and the texture is fun. I just find that with the texture, the knit is taking a lot longer, or it just feels like it's taking a lot longer than it normally does. Does that make sense? I think I might have just discovered a mistake. No, maybe. I think I knit 1 extra round between the, oh well, it doesn't matter. It's not that noticeable. But it's really pretty, and I really like it, and so I'm having fun. Those are good. What I love about the sock knitting, and what I've been learning about the sock knitting, is kind of taking it around with me everywhere. That's the fun part. Socks are so portable. You can toss them in your purse. Not a big deal at all. Like sweaters, they start off portable, but then they become massive. And usually a lot of other projects are just big. Like even shawls, like at the very beginning, they're portable. And not so much. So there's that. I think we've almost talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Getting back to kind of what I was talking about last week about how I'm going to trying to finish off all of the massive amounts of works in progress that I have, my whips. I have started slowly to kind of, I wrote it all down on a list here. I should actually pull out the list and show you. I call it the whip parade because there's just so many. It's so bad. So I was like, okay, I just need to actually write it all down. Okay, so that top half is my whip parade. I broke it down into socks. I have 5 pairs of socks that I've started. It's because I'm a stress caster-oner. When I was feeling stressed out, I just kept casting on new things. I have 5 of those. I have 6 shawls. Oh my gosh. Well, because I have the Magic Cake Ruffle shawl from Maine, which I need to finish. I've got my Hogwarts Express, the little shawlette. Stripe study that I will always have a stripe study on my needles anyway, so that doesn't matter. There's not a deadline on that. I have a little moth shawlette that I cast on like a million years ago. My arrow, you know, follow your arrow. And the Deneb shawl, which is what I cast on for knitting for Maine. So I've knit that all the way to Maine and then cast on other things in Maine. And then I have about 6 miscellaneous, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. I've got like probably like 20. I've got, yeah, at least 20 works in progress. How is that possible? No wonder I can't find any of my needles when I'm trying to do a project. Yee. And then I also have projects for the Ravelry Parade. So I have projects that I need to update on Ravelry, and if you've looked at my notebook recently, I have updated a few things, but I need to take the time to take some nice pictures. So my best friend, Jessica, who looks like me, sounds like me, basically is my doppelganger. When we sing, I'm the alto version of her, she's the soprano version of me. People always think we're sisters when we do stuff together, because we are. She's my sister from another mister. Anyways, she has Instagram. It is F. as in Frank. So F as in Frank, because her last name is Fuhrer, and that's how she always says it. She's like, F as in Frank, E-W-E-R, when she explains how to spell her last name. And I always say cave like the bat cave. And I almost, on my, sorry, stories always lead to other stories, when I did my first aid training a couple weeks ago, I was going to get my little certificate, like my little wallet thing, and the instructor, he knew our first names, but he had to ask us for our last names, as he was filling out the little instructing thingies, the certificates. And I go up and I say my typical spiel. I'm like, Grace Cave, cave like the bat cave. So he starts writing bat cave on my little CPR certificate. I almost had Grace Bat Cave as a CPR certificate, which would have been really epic. But I'm like, I was so surprised. He's like, Bat Cave? Like, you know, like Bat Cave? And I was like, and he's like, oh, wait. There's probably nobody named Grace Bat Cave, is there? I laughed, he laughed, and he had to start a new certificate for me. I should have kept the Batcave one, though, because that was really funny. Kind of similar to my... I've never had problems with my last name until I got married. My maiden name is Morrison. M-O-R-R-I-S-O-N. The worst thing that ever happened with that, and that was the only time in my entire life, is either they do 2 S's, which usually doesn't happen, or my learner's driver license said Grace Morrison with an M instead of an N at the end. And I was like, who did that? Like, who actually has the name Morrison? That doesn't exist. So now whenever I do a criminal record check for working with brownies, because you have to get your criminal record check, you know, just for working with kids, it's a good thing. Don't worry, I don't have one. I don't have a criminal record. But when you fill out the form, they say, okay, names that you go by, names that you have gone by. And so I always have to put Grace Morrison, because I had legal ID issued with that extra letter. I should have kept Grace Bat Cave. But then with brownies, when I got married, I got a new name tag that said Girl Guides of Canada, Guy de Canada, whatever. And then it has your name. And they wrote Grave Cave. Instead of Grace Cave, it was Grave Cave. I'm a very serious person. There's an Instagram of it. You can look back on my Instagram, you'll find a picture. So I've kept that one because it's an actual name tag that they paid for and sent, and they were so excited to give it to me because I never was ever, like, I kept missing my district commissioner. I kept missing her. And so it took like a month or 2 months for me to get this name tag once it arrived. And so I finally get it and she hands it to me and she's so victorious and I'm so happy. I put it on right away, and my co-leader goes, Grace, did you read that? He's like, yeah, Grace Cave, yeah. You know how you just fill in? Totally said Grave Cave. And so they had to order me another name tag. This time they didn't mess it up, but I kept the Grave Cave because it's so funny. Where did that rabbit trail come from? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so my whip parade. I think that's what we were talking about. So I'm going to update all of those things. Oh, F is in Frank. That's where I was going. My best friend has Instagram, F.as in Frank. You'll get to see tons of adventures that we have. She is going to be my photographer to help me out with lots of things. She's going to help me take pictures of my projects that I want to put on Ravelry. Usually the payment is that I give her lots of knit goods. She's going to help me with my blog. Once I get going, she's going to take some pictures. I'm going to try to help her get started. So you should take a minute and go and follow her on Instagram and show her some love, and you will be amazed at how much we look alike. She's just more like, I guess she's more glammy than I am. Like, she likes fashion a little bit more. Like, I like fashion, but I'm very set in my way. Like, I like what I like. I don't really go for whatever is trendy or hip. I kind of do my own thing. She's very much like, ooh, this is trendy and hip and I like it and I want to be fashionable. And so she buys the boots and she bought some moccasins though. I'm so happy. I love moccasins. I need a new pair of moccasins really bad. Mine are getting really well loved, but I love them so much and I want to let go of them. Get too attached to things. Do you ever do that? I totally get too attached to things. Okay, looking back. Ooh, okay. One last thing that I want to tell you about, and then it's time to go. So we all remember that I've got a knit along going on for HANA HOU. Come join that, please. It's really fun. We have Camp Aloha Friends coming up in June 15th, and you want to go check that out. And follow my friend, my best friend, F as in Frank, on Instagram. If you want, it's up to you, but you totally should. And tell her that you say hello and tell her that I sent you, because she's awesome. Oh, my husband even has Instagram too. You can follow him too. And then, oh, that's my cat. Ava, it's okay. Ava, come here. So, come here. I know. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. This is Ava Kitty. Ava Kitty. She really loves me when I do that. Okay, the very last thing I wanted to talk about. So, Instagram is so much fun. My wedding photographers, the Nickersons, specifically Sarah Nickerson, I call her Sticks, she has been doing a celebration giveaway for how awesome things have been going with them lately. And her giveaway this time, or yesterday, was a spot in a calligraphy class with Fox and Flourish. I have a new crush, and it is on Fox and Flourish. She is a calligrapher, and she's on Instagram as well, Fox and Flourish. And I won a spot in this calligraphy course, and I'm so excited because I have all the stuff to do calligraphy. I kind of taught myself how a while ago with a book, and I haven't done it really since. But then I was like, oh, I've been looking, and my friend Rebecca Caradad from Manzanita, she is an amazing calligrapher. And then there's Fox and Flourish, who are local, because Rebecca is like out in the States. Fox and Flourish is in Vancouver, so I have to take a ferry over and probably stay overnight at my aunt's house or something. But I'm totally going to go do this calligraphy course. I'm so excited. And it's really funny because just a little while ago, I'm going to let you down. Here you go, kitty. Just a little while ago, when I went to the bookstore, I bought Start Calligraphy because I wanted to start it again. I have the pen and the nibs and stuff, but I just need like proper training, you know? I mean, I can make it up like the best of us. Then I also bought a notebook to be my calligraphy. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but just so that there's lines, like a practice notebook. And now I won a spot in this class. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Life is great. You guys should totally check it out. Check out calligraphy. I don't know if you're into it, but I'm totally into it. I've always loved writing beautifully. Like, what did I do? I went, after I kind of looked it up, I started writing things down. I copied from her website, from Fox and Flourish. I wrote, handwriting is ephemeral, unruly, and truly as unique as the hand that composes it. Isn't that amazing? I love it. You guys have, if you watched previous episodes, you've heard my rant about handwriting and how they're taking it out of school, and I'm really mad about that. So I kind of, in protest, I want to handwrite everything. So that younger generations will have no idea what I'm writing till they learn how to handwrite. Right? Alright, okay, well, you know what? I think we're done. I think we've done great. We're just under an hour. Yes! Go for rendering. I've had so many technological issues. I'm working on it, I promise. And I'm still working on getting this up on iTunes. It will happen someday. Yes, it will. And if not, then you guys have an excuse to come to my blog. I like that. Come to my blog. Come say hello. I like that. And then join me on Ravelry. JuniperGraceTube on Ravelry. So I bet you've finished all of your beverage by now. I bet you've got a lot of knitting done. And I am so glad that you came to see me today. Please come again. It'll be wonderful. I always promise lots of extra chitter chatter. And go say hello on all the groups and join the knit along and all that stuff. And I guess, okay, here it is. It's safe to return to your life as normal. Thanks for coming out.